Happy Friday to you. Hey, look at the hoodies. The new hoodies came in. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? It's so exciting. They arrived last night and they're gonna start shipping out immediately. Um, Maybe not until Monday because I think it's a holiday. Um, so this is the green one, and then there's black ones. Some of the sizes are already some of the size and colors are sold out already because they're limited edition run. So, if you want to check one out, I didn't realize I was going to be pitching a product immediately, but you can use the promo code live to get a discount. I should have I should have thought about this. This is very rude. I don't even think I said hi. I just came in here and was like, "Hey, you guys want a hoodie? You ever heard of a hoodie? I made a hoodie." I'm just excited about it because this is um my first hoodie that I'm trying to think if it was the first one I've ever done. I may have done one a really long time ago, but I think I printed them myself. Anyway, they sucked because they weren't good blanks. I hunted down finding the best quality blanks for this one, and I gotta say, I'm very happy with it. So, um, happy Friday. I'm gonna be drawing names today. It's mostly what I do on live streams. Sometimes I do other things. It wasn't the plan to just do names, but they're fun to do, and it's a good way to interact with all of you. And I got good practice right now because this week I filmed a video where I hand lettered like new logos for 50 bands, musicians that I like. Um, and I gave myself 5 minutes to do each one. So if you know my challenge videos, I can get a little loopy, get a little crazy. So I'm working on editing that video. It is a nightmare because I can't just include all of it because that would be a 4-hour video, which I didn't think about when I was filming it. I didn't think it was going to take that long. I was like, oh, it's just 5 minutes each, but there's 50. So look forward to that video. I don't know when. Not next week, probably the week after. Um, what else? Shout out to my patrons. You are all the best. This is the current lineup of official Piascikos and above. They get their name drawn and included in all the videos I make while they are active members. Couldn't do it without all of you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you dearly. There's a lot of tiers over in the Patreon where you get access to exclusive content. Sometimes you just get a little pity party from me where I post this week I posted a mean comment and I was like, "Hey, look at this mean person said to me." That's the kind of stuff that you pay for. No, I post behind the scenes stuff. I post videos talking, and if there's the PS Sticker club, which is also the PS Sticker Party Club, we have a monthly hangout and you get stickers mailed to you each month. The next hangout I just posted about is next week. So if you became a sticker club member, you could come to that virtual hangout where we did some live drawings last time. It was not live. We drew together. What did we do? We drew something. I don't remember what it was, but it was fun. I remember fun. I remember fun was had. So link below if you want to check that out. Um, I think that's really all I have to say. If you're interested in patterns, I got a new Skillshare class. You could check that out. We've been working behind the scenes to get my class catalog, at least the good ones from Skillshare, available through my own site. So if you are someone who's wanted to take my classes, but you were like, I don't want to do Skillshare, you may have that possibility. So, well, you will have that possibility. So, stay tuned for that. Uh, oh, good. The good Chad reminded me that we drew over blobs. We did draw over blobs, and it was fun. I always love drawing over blobs. It is the best. Trust Crawford, you said that the hoodie looks great. Thank you so much. Okay, so for these name live streams, Skippy McGackus, channel moderator, posted the rules in the chat, but just to reiterate, to keep these things as fair as possible, I choose names as a first come, first serve basis from when I go live. And there is the ability to jump the line with a super chat of $20 and above. But yeah, let's get into it. Let me switch over to my iPad screen. Where's my button? iPad. So shout out Marcus Dillon. He is the newest patron Piascik, official Piascik tier. And I was working on his name, so there's a little behind the scenes. This is his name drawing that will be included. So thank you, Marcus. I appreciate you. I like the way your name is coming together. I didn't finish it, so that's going to be finished and added to the lineup. Ryan Claytor, you said you nabbed my Royal Tenenbaums poster. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you like it. Sorry for the mic noises. I just need to adjust this. Okay, so let me grab my sketchy pencil, and let me turn on some background music so I don't feel the need to go, and the first name on the list is Dude Ranchero. That, I can't believe your parents named you Dude. But I guess when your last name is Ranchero, there isn't many other options out there for you. You're sort of limited. It's like, well, my last name is Ranchero. Are you Dude Jr.? Because I imagine your dad has to be named Dude as well. Or maybe he's just cowboy. Ranchero. Rank hero. Just, doing some mnemonic devices to remember the spelling. Because that's a tricky thing for me. I don't know why I'm bringing down the opacity. I'm not tracing over that. Am I already crazy? Sometimes it takes me a little bit to get crazy. I think the problem is there's a school holiday for my kid. So he is 4. And I was hanging out with him until this live stream. So there's a lot of energy. Miss Chuck Almighty said, "You're new to the channel. You did the ski into a spruce, and you're happy with it. Awesome. That's funny. I'm also learning how to work Fresco. Yeah, you're welcome. I've been. Let me start drawing something, and then I'll see if I can come back to that point. Okay, Dude Ranchero. So I think I'm just gonna sort of like freestyle a little bit. Like I'm thinking. Is this? Can we get like ranchy with this? I don't know if I'm doing ranchy, but I like it. Oh, I think if we do it like more playful, it's sort of like something. It's a little big right now, but so I have been considering this class idea. So one of my most popular videos is this like old video that I made that's like an intro to Fresco, and it's not a very good video, but it's just gotten a lot of views. And I was like trying to redo it, and it was just like hard because it's like hard to make a cohesive video that's just like an intro to like the tools in Fresco. And then I was like, maybe I should just do one of those like in-depth classes where it's like broken up into different lesson plans and just have it like available on my site where it just breaks everything down. Does that sound like a good idea? Can you let me know in the chat? I don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm just sort of playing. So, well, this is a long word. We just went to a script R at a H out of nowhere. But, sometimes that is a thing that happens. Oh, but I like that. That is a combination I never would have come to, where we've got a script H into a weird serify E. This is the longest word I've ever written in my life. Okay. We're just, it's getting loose. I kind of like how wild this is. Ranchero. Okay. We're gonna clean it up. We're gonna make it better. Let's get dude in here. Maybe we can. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do with this dude over here. What are we gonna do with dude? Hey dude, what are we gonna do, dude? This is wild right now, but I think it's one of those situations where we're going to be able to. We're gonna make it. We're gonna do iterations and make it happen. I believe. You may not believe, especially if you're new. You may be like, "What on earth is this person doing? This guy doesn't know how to do. This is the worst drawing I've ever seen in my life." And I would say, maybe, but you got to start somewhere. Okay, so let's find the problematic areas. So the way this, so if like this comes back a little bit, then this, like maybe the D can do that. And then all right, let me see what's happening. I'm sure there's so many questions that I'm ignoring. Patrick Putman, you said you noticed you were wearing your glove again. Which do you prefer, with or without a glove? I prefer drawing with it because I don't like my skin touching the iPad. You know, it's funny. I almost never wear a glove lately. I used to always wear one, but ever since I got the nano texture iPad, I don't find I need it as much. But I was looking for a cloth to clean my screen. Because I hadn't wiped it off in a while, and I saw it in the drawer, and I was like, "Oh, put this glove on." And I was thinking, someone's going to ask about this immediately because it's a hot topic. I would say that although I haven't been using one, the glove combined with the fact that I just cleaned my screen, so it's nice and smooth. It's just a nice slide on the screen. But I feel you on the not liking your skin touching the screen. I have that sensory issue as well. So yeah, I just don't find it problematic with the nano texture, but I'm enjoying it right now. But I also don't like having to have a glove on my hand, but it's just the smooth sliding. I love the sliding. I don't find I need it for like palm rejection stuff. It's more of just like that, just gliding my hand across the screen for like the longer lines. Okay. There's like a vibe to this that reminds me of something, and I don't remember what, but it's like really weird, but I kind of like it, and I think I'm ready to tighten it up. It still looks bad, but I think when it's tighter, I think it'll come together. And if it doesn't, I'll just have to get a new job. It's still a little problematic, like this U in like this area. I'm wondering if I could just like lower this, like this H doesn't have to be that tall. I think that'll solve some of our problems. So I think what's gonna make this come together is just really drawing these shapes to fit to the other letters, and like that cohesiveness will make it feel less crazy. Like how these things are like lining up and fitting together. So it's like really chaotic letter shifting and like styles and like different bass lines and like just warped letters, but the fact that they all fit together is what will make it like feel not psychotic. It'll just like look like it's supposed to, like, even though it's crazy, it's meant to be together. So it's like if you lean into, if you have something that is like consistent or intentional or, you know, something that ties it together, you can really push the other limits. Talking a lot of fancy stuff right now without the full confidence that it's going to come together, but I believe. Also, we go slow on the first one, so you may be thinking, how is he ever going to do more of these if he's still only on the first one? Well, the first one is, you know, I got to get into the zone. I got to step into the drawing zone. R. Geisler, you said you got mail confirming your order is on its way. Can't wait for your 10 years book and the new poster. Thank you so much. You may have been waiting a little longer than usual. I'm usually pretty good at shipping quickly. I try to do all of my shipping on like Wednesdays. I have to kind of group it together because I don't have like people shipping for me. I do it all myself. So I gotta like fit it in with, I gotta just like schedule it. But anyway, I was about to ship all that stuff and then realized that I didn't have the right size envelopes to fit the books in the poster. So I had to order more, and then they got delayed a day, and then it pushed into a day where I wasn't in my studio to ship, and things just got behind. So I apologize if you are someone that ordered a print and a book recently. If you just ordered a print, I just put them in a mailing tube that I had. But if you ordered something that needed to be in an envelope as well, it got a little bit delayed. So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay? Chris Thompson, you said you love my channel since you found it a month ago. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Since I'm drawing and I can't be looking at the chat the whole time, as much as I wish that I could have other eyes that do that. Well, I sort of do. Matt, good old Matt, tries to pull stuff from the chat. You'll recognize his name by having a wrench next to it, like Skippy. And he helps gather questions for me. So sometimes I look up and think I'm gonna answer a question, and then I just read something really nice about myself. And then I feel like I was just like looking at the chat, ignoring questions, and I was like, let me just read this nice thing that someone said about me. That's not what's happening. Matt was like, oh, this is a nice thing someone said. Let me put this here so Chris sees it. And I appreciate that. But then I'm like, you know what I'm saying. I'm like, let me just take a break to look up and read a compliment. I'm sorry I'm taking too long on this one, but like, it's a long name and we're trying new things. This looks very different than a lot of ones that I've done recently, so I think that's kind of fun. That's something. Let's see, how do we deal with this? I think what we'll do is we'll kind of pop this up like that. Pull this over. All right, dude. Let's get this dude. Let's get this dude done. Okay, I think it's pretty much there. I just want to do one thing. Oh, wrong tool. Okay. I just felt like there was like a weird empty space here that was making a little bit of a focal point. So I'm just gonna give that like a full back and forth. And then just pop that up a touch. Just all about that flow. Dude Rancho, I like this. I'm into this. I think it's cool. I hope you like it too, dude. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it, dude. Skippy said, if you love this, or even if you don't, smash the thumbs. And I'm going to put my little thumb smasher animation. I need to get my Buttman dancer as an overlay up in this chat. What was I up in the thing? What was I thinking not having that as an option? Because I have the GIF. Did I not put it in here? Like, what am I thinking? I need my Buttman happen. At least it's in the chat. You know, if you're a channel member, you can use a Buttman emoji. Robert Holden, you said, love hearing how you work things out. Been very inspired. Thank you so much. Patrick Whitman, you said, what movies are you looking forward to this year, if any? You're looking forward to seeing Superman and Fantastic Four. I did not know either of those movies were coming out. I'm a little bit out of the loop on anything coming out because I feel like as a dad with a 3-year-old, it's hard to get to the movies. But currently my kid is really into Thing from Fantastic Four. And I guess the Fantastic Four in general. So I wonder if it's going to be kid-friendly, or at least a little bit. If it's like dark, I would be into it. But if it's kid-friendly, we'll be psyched too. Next on the list is Camille, or I don't know if I'm saying that right. Camille. Gotowiec. This looks like the kind of last name that I will either forget a letter or swap letters. So I am going to be careful here. Okay. Let's see. What are we going to do here? Right off the bat, the GOTO. For some reason, my 4-year-old is very much into Chapel Roan, and there's that Hot to Go song, and she spells out GOTO, and that's, it's blasting in my head right now. So you hear this background music, I'm rocking out to Chapel Roan. Okay, let's see. Let's do some, maybe some like blocky letters for the last name that sort of fit together, like G-O. Oh, and then bring that into the T, and then, ooh, look at that little maze puzzle. I just sort of wish the, well, I guess they don't, it can stay. Can we not have any curves in this? That's the real question. I noticed I say that a lot because I was editing my 50 lettering treatments for bands, musicians that I like. And so many times I'm like, that's the real question. Like, what are you talking? Like, what am I even saying? What does that even mean? That's the real question. Okay. I like this. What can we do with the first name? I feel like we should do something different. Just don't know what yet. Like, my immediate thought is script to contrast. Like, sort of the opposite of just these not any curves. But I don't know if we want that full contrast. We'll see. We'll try. See where it takes us and if we feel good about it. This is sort of a nice contrast. G-O-T-O-W-I-E-C. Okay. Our Geisler, you said absolutely no worries. You're from Denmark, so I knew it would take a while. Oh yeah, man, it is shipping to these other countries is wild. All right, so to get this like structure really dialed in, I'm going to use the vector brushes. I think I'm going to stick with the gritty, so I'll use the dirty monoliner, which is just like my vector brush that has a little bit of texture, like my classic inker that's not vector, but doesn't have pressure sensitivity, so it's all one weight. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just kind of draw in these lines. I'm gonna duplicate so that I don't rotate, like I want it to be the same angles. So I'm not going to duplicate all these. I'm just going to sort of bring a handful, not even a handful, just a few of them over so that I can draw the other ones, but just have like a little bit of a reset. So like I know if I'm drawing my lines relatively close, like it doesn't have to be perfect because it's, you know, we are hand drawing something, but this will be helpful. So let's merge this all down. And then we can trim off the stuff that we don't need. Okay. Skippy, you said, damn it, Chris, being humble just makes us want to compliment you more. Thanks, Skippy. Okay. So I'm just drawing the rest of these lines, and we'll just use the trimming to cut out the extra stuff. I probably, if I was doing this not in a live stream where I was like trying to go quickly, I probably would have been more intentional with how I spaced out these letters, because I'm thinking it may end up, the spacing might not be great, but I'm hoping it's going to be enough that I can make some small tweaks if I need to. But maybe if it's off a little bit, it could give it some charm as well. Okay. Now let's do these. I think this might get a little confusing, so I might need to just do like a halfway chop zone to figure it out a little bit, because right now it's looking a little crazy. Let's cut some stuff out so that we can feel less crazy. I see a bunch of hearts and I like it. Thank you. Welcome to the chop zone. Thanks, Aaron. Where's my little thumb smasher got to come through? Okay. Can't even see what's going on here. This is crazy. But it's gonna make it so it's kind of you know, perfect. Everything will be perfectly lined up. It'll be very satisfying. Ah, we didn't want to cut that line off. When did we do it? Okay, there we go. We wanted to cut that off. We are getting into the season where people are just lawn mowing relentlessly, even though it's like barely spring. And I forgot about that time of the year for my live streams. Okay. Nick Neckrafts, hi from the UK. Hi, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you coming to hang out. What should I do? Okay. We forgot to put an extra space between the G and the O. We're gonna have to come back, figure out what we're gonna do there. Miss Chuck Almighty, you said, what happens to these names drawings when you're done? They get saved, and then sometimes people email me and say, hey, can I have that name drawing that you did? And then Matt responds to that email, and he says, sure thing, and he sends it over. So that's what happens. Okay, what, we gotta fix that. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna fill everything in, and then I'm just gonna erase that a line through the middle. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a block around the outside. I'm going slow today. The next one's going to be fast. I can feel it. We got to do some speedy ones. Okay, so with this, I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to move it down here like that, and then we can turn that up for now. We can merge those two, and then chop chop, welcome to the chop zone, and then just connect these lines. And now we got this little 3D block. We can fill this in. We're gonna fill it all in, actually, like that. Okay, and then we're gonna take this, grab our magic wand, and just select this stuff, and then we can come up to this one and erase. And now we can draw Camille. Camille. Camille? Camille? Camille. Probably Camille. Delete. Nope, not that one. Okay, let's go. Let us go. Take care. Hi everyone, I'm still here. Sorry. I just decided that this will be better if I, nope, not that. I think this is gonna look better. Yeah. Cool. There we go. I hope you like it. Let's do the next one just so fast. But not like rush, just quick. Like quick because it's, I don't know, it just comes together. Just comes together. That's the plan. Next up on the list is Tress Crawford. Another long name though. I thought this was gonna be a fast one. You know, maybe it might be. We're gonna do it. We're gonna make it work. Miss Chuck Almighty, you said what happened? Oh wait, I already answered that. What are you doing, Matt? I thought you're supposed to. You're over here in the chat, chatting it away, not updating the Notion doc. Camille, you said crazy work, man. You love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Folksy, how much for Fresco subscription? Fresco is 100% free. It used to be $9.99 a year, but they recently updated it to be completely free for their 5-year anniversary earlier this year. There's no premium version anymore. I think it's like the R and those 2 S's in the first name makes me want to do some like wiggly, flowy letters that just sort of flow together. So that's what's happening here. Skippy, you said, what is your favorite summertime activity? I am really into autocross and track days, like where I drive my car as fast as I can on a racetrack. I really like that. I also do a little bit of the rollerblading. I've been doing that my whole life. I don't like how hot it gets in the summer, so that's not my favorite summer activity. But I would say, yeah, the car racing stuff, which I'm actually doing my first event tomorrow. I'm very excited about that. Okay, so when I'm doing these like flowy letters, I just like to get like a rough start like this, and then I can like make it feel nice and smooth and flowy once I have like a rough idea of the placement. And sometimes I'll take this whole thing, and if I don't love the overall shape, I'll use the liquify to sort of push it around a little bit. Like if I want it to kind of flow a little bit more, and just sort of play around with the brush size. And it'll like look weird here, but when we draw it, we can account for like the smushness and like make it more fun. And then another thing that I'll do is I'm gonna just grab pink so I can see it, is just like be more intentional about the shape that we are kind of drawing, to just make it to help with the flow even more. And then we'll put that down here and just use that to help shape what I'm drawing. And I'm going to double check my spelling first. We are good there. So let's delete that. And move this up, make it a little bit bigger, rotate it a little bit, and now I'm just gonna get in there. $71.30, you said, I am a photographer, drone pilot, and use an iPad Pro for everything. I enjoy your videos because you draw for a hobby. Many great suggestions and help learning Fresco. That's awesome. All right, so basically I'm just sort of using my sketch as a guide and then also kind of working it to this overall shape that I created. And as you can see, I'm not following it completely because I'm letting the letters kind of wiggle in and out, but just like overall direction for where they're going to go. I'm also not going to do it in order because I want it to, I find if I do the letters sequentially, they'll be more interesting at the beginning or just like more flowy at the beginning, and then it'll start to get less so at the end, or like something that this D could get a little smushed. So I like to just mix it around so that the letters end up being like equally flowy, if that makes sense. And it also helps because I'm realizing that we got some tight spaces that we got to deal with here. I'll start just like drawing areas that are being sort of dictated by what I just drew, and it helping it to just sort of fit together. Chris Piascik, you said what class? I assume you're autocrossing. Oh, so the club that I am doing autocross with tomorrow is uses like a looser, not like the SCCA, like they're based on that, but because it's a smaller local club, they like group things together. But I end up running, they have like a pro street class that I do that's just like a mix of other classes. So it's more open to like modification stuff. So I just do the pro class because there's more people in it. Oh. And I end up doing some like, because I like to do track stuff, sometimes that necessitates doing some like modifications to help with like, you know, keeping your car cool on the track, and those kind of things will mess up your autocross class. So because I'm not trying to like compete nationally or anything, I don't worry too much about the class. It's more just about fun for me. So if I was serious into autocross, you have to be like careful with track stuff because the modifications you would do would bump you into a non-competitive class. Didn't think I would be talking about the nuances of autocross classing while doing hand lettering on YouTube, but here we are. Tress Crawford, that was fun. I think I like it. Do you like it? I hope you like it. Anyone else like it? Yeah, did I spell it right? I think I did. All right, I don't want to look at it too long because I'll find little adjustments that I can make. Sometimes you just got to send it. Thanks, Camille. Tim makes films. You said you inspired me to get an iPad. What tech spec should I shoot for? You know, the iPads have been overly powerful for a very long time. So if like you're just drawing on an iPad, like I made a video recently where I tested a bunch of different iPads. Like some of them were like an old Pro from like 2018. And there's like an iPad mini, an iPad Air. And then I also compared it with I have like the iPad Pro, like shockingly expensive iPad. They were all fine. They all handled everything that I was doing. I did like complicated like Fresco files with like 20 layers of animation, and like all of the iPads handled it. So you just want to make sure. The one thing I would say is if you get a regular iPad, the only way to get the pressure sensitivity is to use the first gen iPad pencil, which is fine. It's a great pencil, but it's just annoying the way you have to charge it because it's the one where you have to like plug into it. Whereas the other ones have the Apple Pencil that magnets to the side of the iPad. So it's just like charging when it's just sitting there, and it's just a lot easier, less annoying. So my recommendation would be, like, I feel like an iPad Air is the sweet spot. But like, yeah, you don't need top specs or anything. Maybe just get a slightly bigger hard drive. But if you're working in Fresco, it saves stuff to the cloud anyway, and then you can back up what you don't want. So my thoughts. I would check out that video if you want to know more in-depth stuff. Next on the list is Zakir Hussein. Got lots of angles. I like the angles. Maybe we'll do like almost the opposite of what we just did. Oh, but there's lots of curves and Hussein. But you know, maybe we could do it anyway. Oh, Matt put the video link in the chat. Thanks so much, Matt. HOSSAIN. Okay. Let's go. Maybe we'll lean into these angles. Maybe we'll cross the A with the Z. Splits off into the K. Got the I. Put it right there. Got this R coming in. Almost dotting the I. Can you believe it? And then let's just keep it going. Get these two S's like that. The A. And then let this N can kind of go like that. All right, let's make sure we know that's an O. We didn't do anything else wrong. Okay, let's see if we can make this a little bit cooler. Let's try to just like a little bit of guides to see if I can maybe make the shape a little bit more interesting at the same time. But sometimes if you try to like make it too tight, you might like lose the energy you had with the initial sketch. So This is one of the situations where we're gonna have to wait and see. No, I think the angle stuff helped. Let's turn off all this other stuff and do a tightened up version. Just rotate it a little bit like that. I think the top of the Z needs to come down a little bit, but that's no big deal. Movies are rad. Found 2 more of your Hot Wheels last night. Now I just need that Silverado. Oh, that's so cool. I still haven't found them locally. I've been told that they'll eventually be in all of the Walmarts, but you know, well, lots of people are seeing them. I still haven't seen them in real life, like in a store. Like I have some. You might be able to see them on the wall back there. I don't know if you can see that. But I want to see them on the shelf. I think it doesn't help that I don't like to go to Walmart. It's especially the Walmart in my town is just wild. Like every single time I go there, it is the craziest place on earth. And I'm like, I'm never coming here again. So I have to really get psyched up to go in there. But I've been going there more trying to see if I can find the Hot Wheels. I think I just need to drive a little bit further to a different Walmart because Lord knows there's Walmarts everywhere. This kind of reminds me of that. Do you remember Zorro? I feel like I liked Zorro when I was a kid. He's like that guy, the mask and the hat. It's like kind of like a cowboy hat, and he's got a sword. Puts the Z real fast. Cuts. I think he's like cut someone's shirt. Cut the bad guy's shirt. Put the Z mark in it. Seems pretty performative, but you know. That's all I really remember. All right, I think we just need a mild amount of touch-up just to, you know, sharpen up a few of these points to make it more like tapered off, like it was cut into the blouse of your enemy. I think it's sort of, it needs, this needs to come down a little bit more because of that space, but I think it also could benefit from like just a touch of texture. Let's grab the, from my Retro Splico set, the Big Grit, I think will be good for this. Just a couple little splatters. And then we'll just grab the alt version, which is very similar, but just a slightly different pattern. And then just like erase some of it out of it. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I hope you like it. Go back to my pencil. Rufeta I'm sorry about saying your name wrong. You said you recently found your YouTube channel and you love your content. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Next up is Pookie. That was a fun one. I already, like, I didn't just write the name down. I started drawing it because it's like, my hand was like, oh, I know what Pookie looks like. It looks like these letters. I don't know if that's what it looks like, but that's it. We're done. I'm just kidding. Scotty, you said, have you done work for Hot Wheels more than the artwork you did for the one set? Nope, that was the first time I've worked with Hot Wheels. And Dave Lerner said, Walmart is like a human zoo. Yes, I agree. Okay, Pookie. What are we gonna do? We don't know. I kind of like the idea of the two O's being like eyeballs that are like looking over. Like, Pookie. Pookaboo. Like peekaboo, but it's pookaboo. That doesn't mean anything. This is kind of silly, but look at how cute. Come on. I think we have to. That's Pookie. What if Pookie's like, Pookie says peace, because we're dotting the I with a little peace sign. This is what you're getting, Pookie. I'm doing it. Let's commit. I just got to figure out what I did there, because that's making that look like an R. We can't connect that. I was trying to make that look like the cheek from the smile, but it doesn't work. It looks like a weird R. So we're going to fix that. I'm going to fix it. Everybody calm down. Stop yelling at me. I'm going to use the crispy liner, because this deserves some crispy lines. Or it just feels like it should have crispy lines. Miss Chuck Almighty, you're talking about how you mainly work in Procreate, but you like how Fresco has the vector brushes, and it's frustrating going from Photoshop and Illustrator to Procreate to Fresco. Yeah, I mean, if you work in vector a lot, it seems like it may be easier for you to just commit to, I don't know. Like, I have nothing negative to say about Procreate. Procreate's a great app, but like, I don't feel like there's hardly anything, especially if you work in vector, you're not really missing anything if you just like use Fresco for everything, and that'll cut out some steps for you. Because usually the issue, like for me, I worked in Procreate for a long time, and I wasn't like, it was just something that felt more natural to me. And then I realized it was just because I hadn't figured out which brush worked best for me, or like which brushes, or like how the settings worked. But then I found that I used it a little bit more. I was like, oh wait, this is fine. And it's, for me, it's even better. Like I will sometimes use Procreate for, I don't know, to do like a demonstration for something, or I used Procreate Dreams to quickly do that Buttman dance, because I needed like a video file reference to bring in, and I didn't have my computer with me, because otherwise I would have just used Photoshop to get the frame by frame video sequence into Fresco. But because I didn't have that, I just used Procreate Dreams. And Procreate Dreams is lacking in a lot of the features, so I did the drawing in Procreate first. And I don't know. My point is that I think it's just like you get used to things quickly. Is that a point? I don't know if that's a point. Gotta make this better. All right, Pookie. I hope you like it. That was silly and fun. Matt Freed. I think you are a patron. Or maybe a channel member? I feel like have I drawn your name? Maybe not. Okay. Kohiko, you said, are the Hot Wheels only available at Walmart? I don't know. When I asked about like where they would be, they said, well, they'll definitely be at Walmart's. But I imagine like Targets or other places that sell Hot Wheels would get them. They're not like a Walmart exclusive. I think that's just like a guaranteed place. This is quite the angle that I'm working with here. I don't know what I'm doing here, but this is a little bit hard to... That E is looking like it's going to read before the R. So if we're going to do that, we would need to make some adjustments. Let's pretend that never happened, and let's go back to the drawing board. I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm hoping I get somewhere. Movies Red, you said you got one at a comic book store that stocked Hot Wheels. Okay, that is great information to have. So yeah, officially, it is they're not only at Walmart's. Happy to hear that. Thank you so much for letting us know. Ooh, okay. I think we got somewhere cool. I feel like it also could be like a fun 3D thing like this. Yeah, let's tighten this up. This looks like one that would benefit from vector because we got all these like shapes that lead into each other. So let's do that. Maybe we'll do this one with the crispy vector, which is my clean vector presets for just clean, shiny lines when you don't want any grit. I'm going to try to make some of these lines like match up to give it a little bit more cohesiveness. You love that word, cohesiveness. You know any other words? Yeah, I do know some words. You ever heard of them? What am I talking about? One problem is I sometimes kind of force this a little bit too much. But sometimes it's just really satisfying when it just kind of works out perfectly. But I want it to be not completely perfect. Like I want there to be some different angle changes to keep the energy. Because when you go too perfect, you lose some energy. We don't want to lose the energy. We're also going to need to do some like trimming so we can do a progress check, because this looks like one of those things where I could just trim everything and then like do it all without trimming and then go in and cut the stuff I don't need off and then be like, oh, this looks like a hot mess. Why did you waste all that time? So we're going to do a progress check in a minute. I think we should do it right now. Okay. Jazzy HW, Miss Dawnstar, you said, I love your videos. You're inspirational, especially the doodling tips video you posted a while ago. It's really helpful. Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much so. That is really nice to hear. I'm so glad my videos have been helpful. Leslie said, hello, do you have any tips for neck back pain when drawing on the iPad? I can't sit at my desk for more than 30 minutes at a time to do this. I often, well, so I have a desk that raises up, and I raise it up high when I'm drawing. It's a little bit lower now than I would normally have it because for the live stream, typically I'll raise it up even higher, and then I'm not bending over so much. I also do a lot of my drawing on the iPad, sitting on the couch, surprisingly. So like I'm just like leaned back and I have it resting on my knee in like in my Sketchboard Pro. Actually, I use the Astro Pad mount when I do that. And then I'm not hunched over. I wasn't paying attention, thinking this was a T. It's not a T, it's an F, and it connects to the R, so we gotta draw those lines back in. What a dummy. Whoops. Why is that happening? Oh, because this doesn't cross over. Okay. So I got a little bit more playful with the angles on that D while still keeping it relatively straight. So I just need to make sure that's not like the only letter I do that with, or it'll stand out. So maybe like with this M, we could do that. Like maybe this gets a little bit wider there. Which actually is good because it's like the first and last letter. And that sort of will have inherent balance. Weed whacker time. Leslie said, buying a standing desk right now. Thank you. I have the Flexi Spot E7, and I think it's the E7. If you are, what I would say, I'm not trying to sell you on it, but I would look at my video for it because there's a promo code. So you should check the pricing, and if it's a good discount, you should make sure you use that, unless you buy a different desk. But all I'm saying is I have a discount code in there, so put it on your list to check out. It's worked well for me, but you can think maybe it's biased because they sent it to me for free to review. They don't pay me to review it. There it is, an affiliate link, but I feel like the affiliate aspect on that one is very low. Like my cut, like I don't even. It's has not been a memorable affiliate situation where I'm like earning stuff from them. I wonder if I feel like I don't even know if I've gotten paid from them. Maybe no one's bought a desk. Anyway, I have 2 of their desks, and they're very stable, and they seem relatively affordable. Okay, let's do the 3D part. I'm just loosely referencing it. I'm not doing it exact. I want more of like the overall shape. Like I want to control the way the shape looks and simplify it a little bit, but have it like still feel like could be the 3D part of it, but it's like my own version of it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it doesn't need to be exactly the 3D of the letters. I'm more concerned about getting an overall shape that I like. The reason I draw through those is because you get that nice clean edge, whereas when I'm like trying to stop early, it's hard to get that. So that's why that looks like that there. But we can clean that up. So I'll just merge these down, delete that, and then just fill it in. And then I could just quickly touch up those areas where there's like a little bit of an overshoot. For things like that, where there's like a long straight, I feel like it's easier to just go through and then just do that. It's like 2 steps, but I feel like it's faster than trying to erase the corner. And then you can, like these longer ones are easier. One more. One more. Cool. Matt Freed. I hope you like it. I thought I was done. We need one more little thing. I think this T, this lowercase t, because I'm sort of pushing the style. I don't know, like it's slightly non-traditional version of it. I want to just make the center of it a little bit thicker. And then shorten this part a little bit more. just to make it a little bit more clear that it's a T, even though it's a little bit of a weird T. But it's also like a very, I don't know. It's not a confusing name. It's a simple name, so you can kind of push the limits a little bit. If anything, we could have shifted up a little higher a bit, but I think it's fine. Cool. Thanks, Matt. How are we doing on time? I think I can do another one. Jan Dirks? Who knows if I said it right? I'm sorry. Dirks. Dirksy. Dirk. Dirks. Dirkus. Dirks. Hi. Hi, everyone. I think there it is. That's the lettering treatment. I hope you like it. Tim Makes Films. You said, what do you use Astropad Studio? Is that what you meant by... No. Astro Darkboard. The Astropad Darkboard is just like a iPad case. It's like a thick foam case. That's like a platform. So it's like, I hold that on my lap. I don't really use Astropad. Astropad Studio makes it so you can use your iPad like a Cintiq. And I do most of my drawing in Fresco. And if I do have to do something in Photoshop or I'm drawing, typically because I'm like using the full video timeline for animation stuff, or I'm using, I don't know, it's not that often. I have a Cintiq that I use for that instead. But if I'm drawing on the couch, I'm drawing in Fresco. I don't know what I'm doing right now. So, in case you're wondering, what's he doing? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't like what I just did, but we're playing, I'm trying to figure something out. What if there's like, we're just straight up doing bubble letters right now? Is that what's happening? Could be. Could be. We haven't done some mega chonky letters in a long time. Like just the chonkiest. Where they're just full, just barely holding on to their form because they're just exploded. They are kind of fun and satisfying to do. Maybe we'll do that for that. What would we do with Jan if we did that? Maybe we should do some letters like this, but then also like drippy. Let's push this a little bit with the... Sean, you said, any advice for people who get discouraged because they keep comparing their illustrators to others? Comparing their illustrations to others. Yeah, I would say do, you know, your own thing. Like like I've been, doing illustration as a career for like 20 years, and I still see other people's work, and I'm just like, I am the worst. Like, what am I even doing? Why am I not that good? Like that recently happened to me with someone where I was just like commented on saying something, and they were like, oh, wow, thank you so much for commenting. I'm such a fan of your work. And I was like, what? I was just having a pity party that I wasn't as good as you, and you're telling me that you're a big fan. So, I think we tend to enjoy other stuff that isn't our own, and assume that because we like it better, that we're not as good. And sometimes it's just like what you're attracted to. But the other part of it is like, you just got to keep making lots of stuff, and generally the people who you really like or have been just doing it for a while, and they've got that practice. So it's just sort of like just trying to make stuff and just know that it's like steps in the right direction. And it's like, if it's not the best thing ever, that's fine. It's part of the journey to get there. And the only way to get there is to start moving forward. All right, let's tighten this chonky, drippy letters up and make it better. Let's do a quick spell check first. Let's move it up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to use the crispy liner for this. Our Geisler, you said, how many names do you roughly do each stream, and does it get harder to come up with a design the more names you do? Sometimes I feel like I was very slow this stream. I don't know about on average how many I do. Maybe some regulars would know. I feel like I was really slow, especially at the beginning on this one, so it wasn't as many. Sometimes ideas come faster, sometimes they're a little bit slower. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm just like in the zone. But I guess I could get repetitive sometimes. I've got that comment from someone who was angry that they thought I was ignoring them because I didn't immediately put them to the front of the list and draw their name. And they were like, you just do all the same thing over and over again. I was like, well, you're mad because I wouldn't draw your name. So if it's the same thing, what? What was I? I don't even know what I was talking about. I just went down a rabbit hole of. I think I was answering how many I do. I don't know. I do as many as I can in like an hour and a half usually. I usually try to remember to post them on my community board and like Instagram. So you might be able to find out there. The E is we need a little bit more space for this E. I think I'm gonna have to pull this all over a little bit. Matt has informed me that without fail, I do 6 to 8 names on a normal stream. Doesn't seem like enough to me, but I guess that's pretty good. I think the problem is I'm trying, like, I feel like I want to do as best as I can for everyone that, like, whose names that I draw. So, like, I try to, like, do a good job. Like, I could certainly do more if I, like, didn't try to make them great. Not saying that they all turn out great, but, like, I'm trying hard on them. Like, for example, in a new video that will be coming out soon where I do, like, the 50 lettering treatments for bands that I like, I do those. I've timed myself at 5 minutes each, and that's certainly less time than I spend on these on a live stream. And are they arguably much worse? No. So, like, maybe I need to do faster ones on some of these live streams. That's something that I need to think about with myself. Like, what do you all think? Should I be trying to do more and just, like, lower the bar? Like, how many drips does a name need when you're doing drippy letters? That's a question. Is there an answer? I don't know. Forgot how nice this crispy liner is from my Retro Supplyco set. It's just very silky. Look at these tapers. Look at that. This delightful brush. I think that's a little bit too much going on at the top of that J, but I gotta just go with it. Cody W, you said, "Yo, dudes, I finally picked up my first iPad Air to start doodling in Fresco because of this goober." Heh, cool. It's fun. Have a good time. I think you're gonna love it. I was working on this, like, you know, those, like, social media content where you're like, yeah, it's like influencer marketing, whatever. But this agency reached out to me to do, like, short form content for Fresco, and they were, like, telling me about Fresco, and I was like, yeah, like, do a Google. Do a Google for Fresco content. See whose name. I was like, I know a little bit about Fresco, and they were, like, giving me, like, PDFs about, like, the features and stuff like that. I'm like, you're gonna just send me a video link to one of my own videos. But it's funny that they were, like, an agency that was gonna hire me, but they didn't even do enough research to, like, know that I make so much Fresco content. But I'm not going to complain because you got to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to just put a border around this whole thing, and that's going to help with the legibility. But now that I see it, I'm realizing I can kind of, I was, like, trying to not have a separation on these E's, and it was making them look dumb as heck. And I'm realizing because we have those counters on the other letters, we can use that, and that'll really think it adds some visual contrast and also makes it easier to read. Like this K needed a little bit. See, the problem is I could noodle forever on some of these things. Sometimes you just gotta say, okay, we did it. And I think we're at that point. Jan, I hope you like it. This has been fun. I gotta run. AJ, you said it's easier to see the flaws in your own work than it is someone else's. Absolutely. And you also said that you spend longer staring at your own thing than anyone else will. That is true. Kevin, you said you're about to do a bike ride and there's no bathroom at the trailhead. This is a problem. That does sound like a problem. Sick as I am, you said you inspired me to do custom typography in my illustrations and design for bands. Super rad. That sounds like a lot of fun. Markar, you said the thought process and hearing to decide what to do is the interesting part. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is nice to hear. And Carl, you said the fact that you are doing this live is appreciated. Cool. Well, I'm glad to hear. New video on Tuesday. Live streams on Fridays. Like and subscribe. Smash my thumbs on the way out. If you are someone who likes to rewatch these after the fact, and you go to my channel and you think it's not there, it is. What happens is the live streams go unlisted for data reasons, but on my channel homepage, there is a playlist for live streams. There's also a playlist for name drawing playlists. You click on that playlist, they're all there. They're just not going to show up as like a regular video the normal way. So you just got to go into the playlist and they're all there. So that's where you can find them. Thank you all, and I'll see you soon. Okay? All right, bye. Love you.